All right, greetings, gods and goddesses in
Mm,
training. We are back with another episode of Guided Primal Sutra podcast. And this time we're talking about gratitude for your body. This was a topic recommended by Ellie. I think it's a very good topic because
mhm,
I've at least started to notice that for me, this Diwali time is more about confronting inertia or stagnation
mhm,
rather than confronting the actual evils in a certain way because I've noticed that the darkness needs to be transmuted into holiness, and then it can start to slowly kind of pick up its pieces and start to thrive. But yeah, that's just what I've been thinking about in terms of how the body is like a storage system that holds like all of our traumas, all of our, by the way, fireworks outside if you can hear. Um, all these traumas, that our body has kept and helped us for so many years, helped us even when we were starving, even when we were um, overfeeding our bodies, numbing ourselves, even then it still loves us. So
mhm.
I feel like we should then use that reciprocity and give back to the body, be grateful for the body because yeah, after a while when you grow older, you're going to start to wrinkle yourself out of this meat suit into a light being. So it's important that we start taking care of it as we're growing older, I
Mhm.
think it's an important aspect.
I understand. The way I see it is longevity and
Yeah.
aesthetics. Why would you not give the packaging the best care? I mean,
Yeah.
you know of my back injuries, etc., and ever since doing weightlifting, I'm standing straighter. Lifting is easier, obviously, because I lift.
Mm,
Mm. And I feel
nice.
stronger during grappling. Mm. We have a lot
That's tough.
regarding the body, regarding your body. We have a lot to be grateful for. Because without
Yeah.
it, I wouldn't be able to experience traveling, etc. Plus, as far as
Yeah.
I know, everything works. And those less fortunate, you know, it's a different story.
Mm.
Where do you want to take this podcast to, Smith? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, I think that a lot of people they misunderstand what it means to be grateful for your body because in the high vibe communities,
Mhm,
everyone's just like pretending to be high vibes rather than being at peace amidst the chaos. And I think that's really what it means to be grateful for the body because if you've been at war with your body for long enough, it's going to start acting up, right? It's going to start challenging you. It's going to start giving you aches and pains. So if we start treating our body not like an enemy but as our friend, then we kind of transmute our pain, pleasures, memories, failures, victories all together in a way that I'll keep you alive today.
mhm,
Uh, is what it's probably said, even with mistreatment. So that's kind of the
mhm,
metaphor of it. The main message is you don't need to earn self-love. You need to remember that your body has been loving you this whole time, and it's not some fluffy self-help word. It's a spiritual technology. So when you understand that, when you can thank your body, you can shift from judgment to curiosity, then you move from, your own sense of ego that traps and makes the body ridiculed or start to shame ourselves and so forth.
mhm.
So what is something that you do, Ryan G, to reconnect to your body or to help you understand, that my body's on my side?
Well, physical exercise in any form is one,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, the fighting, the yoga, dancing occasionally. Hmm.
Mm. What if you treated it as like a rental from the universe, the body?
Well, it is a rental from the universe.
Right.
Remember all the cars we rented, all the SUVs?
Yeah.
Yeah, you better take care of it because you have to return it at some point.
Yeah. And it's kind of cool to recognize as a shaman that this flesh suit is actually performing a divine ceremony every second.
Hmm.
When you're like bowing to it and you actually stop criticizing it, it starts to work in your favor.
Hmm.
Um, for someone who doesn't have eyes or is blind, or someone who doesn't have arms, they want that state. But even with you, like the state of humanity right now
Hmm.
is that, okay, I'm not good enough, therefore I must attain this like level of looks maxing perfection, which will somehow solve all of my issues for me. Kind of like a genetic determinism, like
Hmm.
a black pill type of way.
Hmm.
But in alchemy, the body's like prima materia, right? So it's the raw matter through which spirit realizes itself. Same in
Hmm.
Tantra, it's the Deha Mandala and so forth. So in the esoteric realm, the body's actually revered. Of course, there's ideas of body being bondage and a lot of stuff like that. However, I think as above, so below means that the cosmos is mirrored in your nervous system, right? So, um,
Hmm.
yeah, gratitude is remembering that you are not in the body is in you. So, yeah. And
Body
also,
is in you.
yeah, like
Hmm.
when you criticize your body, right?
Hmm.
You start to freeze the flow of the body.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when you notice when you thank your body, you almost like feel more expansive, or the current of the body is like opened up.
Hmm.
So it acts like prana lubricant gratitude, right? It
Hmm.
restores the conductivity. So yeah, start thanking your body during workouts, after showers, before meals. It's a very good practice. I mean, we already use Ho'oponopono. We might as
Correct.
well just, you know, focus on that thank you element.
Hmm.
But yeah, I remember Ryan G used to do those gratitude walks to the beach where you had to be really present,
Hmm.
and you had to kind of hijack yourself into that source energy
Hmm.
in that
Hmm.
moment. So, what was that offering like, or what was that experience like for you? Did gratitude become an ignition for you, or how did you relate to it?
I basically saw myself as a tuning fork. That I
Mm,
must be one on all levels with the frequency of gratitude, no matter what happens
yeah,
before the exercise, during and after.
right.
That's all. It's the same thing as the moment I enter my flow state during grappling or dancing or whatnot. It's
Yeah.
that.
Mm.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, I think that honestly, any kind of practice that you create yourself and you can adjust the levels, the spectrums,
Hmm.
it really starts to help you light up your own inner codes in a sense. It gives you a strategy in order for you to calm the mind down back to your baseline. And I think that practice, it was kind of an extension of your mind in a certain way, because you could easily mentally, recite what you did. Like you're going to the ocean, you're doing it, right? That's
Hmm.
almost like that morphic field of resonance is there in that ocean. And you went to the same ocean, I believe, right?
Yes.
Um,
Yes,
Yeah, so
correct.
you're building on that field like every time you went. So yeah, that's really interesting, is like stop waiting to feel good before being grateful. I think that's a big one.
Yeah, that's true. It's the same thing with building the body or building your skills.
Yeah.
You do it tired, do it worn
Yeah,
out, do it happy. 9 out of
totally.
10 times, unless I'm injured or whatnot, my state improves, even if it means that I need to start slower. Like for instance, last
Mm,
week Friday, I couldn't focus the first half hour during grappling, and bit by bit, I found my flow. It's like catching a wave. Mm.
yeah. Mm. Every time I notice that gratitude starts to seep into your life, the body starts to reflect that for sure. There's an interplay between that.
Hmm.
Have you ever seen those guys without legs or hands like do workouts? Like
Yeah, yeah.
super inspiring, right? Like to even see that
I mean,
because
isn't Miracle J one of these individuals?
it's true.
Like
It's
shout out
true.
to Miracle J, J
Yeah.
Phillips, wherever he may be.
Jason Phillips. Yeah.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean we have a very interesting tribe on Telegram, so you guys should definitely join
Hmm.
if you can. If you have, well, a lot of us, we don't have the time, but we also do. We have to make the time, right? So
Yeah,
understand if you're a busy person, but your well-being is also your responsibility. So if you can get the help, it may be required, in a certain way,
absolutely. If it is important to you, you make it a priority. Like after
right?
this, you and I are gonna have a quick talk, and then I'm headed to the gym to train my back. Because if we don't do that, I'm gonna fuck it up somewhere this week because I skipped
Mm,
out on the same with yoga. I have to
hmm.
because I want to look a certain way. I want to move a certain way. I want to
Yeah.
ultimately express myself in a certain way. And what is that way? My sense of freedom, my
Hmm.
sense of enjoyment, and to an extent, my sense of fulfillment.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to be able to do the full split again from like 10 years ago.
Mm,
Like I would love to because it would only help me be more fluid, I suppose.
mm.
You know
What
what's like,
advice would you
hmm?
give to someone who's in like a Instagram riddled environment where they're just scrolling and maybe they're into body work, calisthenics, and they're seeing all these swole fucking dudes like do cartwheel flips off of the bar and like all this hype shit, you know? Um,
If the intention is merely to give my observation, given that I've been in a similar position, it would be um be inspired. Find people
right.
like those and see how you can do something similar. It's kind of how I do
Yeah.
grappling as well. So people get choked out, figured, oh, that's scary. Oh, that's inspiring. Let's do something.
It's the perception. Yeah, exactly. So that's how perceiving your body with gratitude is the real key here, right?
Mm,
So I mean, the body is unconditional love because it's still like I'm gonna keep you alive irregardless of how you treat me. So it's like the idea of
mhm.
understanding that your body is responding to how you speak to yourself.
Self-talk, right.
Yeah. So if your self-talk is like really messed up in your head, you're gonna get sick in your body, in your physical body, right? But if you're
Mm,
treating it really well and if you're speaking to it almost like a coach would rather than a critic, then it really starts to optimize and pull you through the difficulties like doing an extra rep or sprinting or
true,
um
true.
I've even noticed it's actually healthy for me to experience like not just a super strict diet but having the things that I like in terms of my macros and then adjusting with like how I move that day or how
Mm,
I skip one meal or whatever. So I actually like this mechanism of mind, body, spirit. We focus
mm,
a lot on the mind, we focus a lot on the spirit. But the body, I think the body is like the base for because the physical body is the foundation for your mental body to be good,
all
right?
right.
Your mental health.
So the way I see it is you have morning, evening, nighttime, noon routines, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And those four intervals, you can have a moment where you can address either one or more of these aspects. Like remember back in the day when you were on a certain program, the mental, the spiritual, and the physical were addressed between 5 and 8 a.m., where we
Mm,
did our morning routines, workouts, meditations, readings, etc.
yeah.
We already have that foundation. This is nothing new, but it's in finding your most authentic expression of self,
Mm,
regardless of how hot the fires are. Is where you can find your transmutation from the old to the new. That's all it has to be. Anything that doesn't empower you, regardless of the lose situation,
yeah.
anything that doesn't empower me doesn't empower me. That's all it is. So
How
why
much
would I
time
want?
do we have left, Brian?
We have 8:30 minutes.
Okay, great.
Did you want to speak on
Mm.
something?
Well, I was thinking of the like if we look at our body as a temple, like people use that term, but if we were to really like say that, then we would probably be more ritualistic with our body, right? Like
Mm, okay, explain what you mean. Explain what you
like
mean.
for instance, when you enter a temple, you have to take off your shoes, and then there's certain laws and rules that you have to follow. So it's
Right.
almost like before you meditate, make make sure you're already vibrating in the frequency
Yeah,
of your meditation.
makes sense.
So yeah, it's like don't curse your body when it hurts. That's another one. It's like um have you ever had a really bad injury, Ryan, where you had to really be patient with your body?
My back, both
Yeah.
elbows, both knees. You remember those?
Yeah.
Remember when my foot was snapped in half and I couldn't walk? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and it makes sense why our spirit also feels disconnected when our body feels like, we've ghosted it. It's uh
Hmm.
it's really interesting because it's just your memory, right? In a certain way. It remembered your heartbreak, it remembered the time you bit your tongue, it
Hmm.
remembered you at the school dance getting rejected, whatever. It has all of these memories and it's
Correct.
not sabotaging you, it's protecting you, it's screaming through symptoms probably and
Right. So that's like the priests abusing the temple. Right.
yeah.
Basically, any temple that is not kept is not a temple worth going to. It tends to be haunted, and that's where the jujus and the bad spirits go to.
Yeah, and I love
Granted,
the metaphor of the body too, like
right,
carrying the stories on your shoulders, for instance.
fair enough, but that's where the saying comes from. I don't wish for a good life. I wish for a strong back and broad shoulders. And if a
Yeah,
strong back and broad shoulders can be considered the pillars of the temple, what other pillars can they be? You know, how can we beautify it? How can we make it more functional? Because
yeah,
function follows form, right? The reason I'm so flexible is I've built myself to be flexible,
mm,
right? The reason
hmm.
you have very powerful triceps is you've been doing nothing but tricep training for the last 5 years.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's an estimation,
I mean, I
guys.
started in high school, so that's pretty long ago. So yeah, that's quite a long time I started.
Exactly.
Only triceps. Yeah, it's such
Yeah,
a
only
weird thing
triceps.
to isolate and do. But anyway, Yeah,
Fair enough.
it's interesting to also note, Ryan, that the spinal health aspect. I saw this one coach on Instagram. He was sharing this movement where you just kind of put your body like this, and then you isolate your spine back like this. And he was
Hmm.
doing it with a breath work. And
Hmm.
I started to do that myself, and I started to notice, wow, there's like a living voltage of memory that's like unlocking for me as I'm doing this. And I highly recommend the audience to try that out because it's
Well, if you're gonna say that, then motion is lotion.
yeah,
You cannot, especially like most of us live a sedentary lifestyle. Motion is lotion. A good warm up and a good cooling down is gonna save you years of bullshit injuries and more. I have seen so many of
yeah.
my grappling colleagues get injured because they didn't warm up well or anything around that level. I want to be so fit that it doesn't matter how.
Mm, right.
That's what I'm going. Aesthetics would be great, but I'm trying to be strong, stable, explosive, and flexible. Like that old strong man. You wouldn't know until you try to
Yeah.
grapple with me or fight me or whatever, or see me move on the dance floor, etc. But that's what I'm going.
Mm,
So I'm then putting or prompting the audience to question or answer this question. What do you want? And what would you be? What kind of body would you have when you get that? Because it's all ultimately one,
right.
right? Anyway, we're on the last 3 minutes. Did you want to say anything before we go to the outro?
Yeah, so one thought that came up is that spirituality is sometimes seen as like escaping the body, right?
Fair.
Or yeah, it's been associated more so with transcend, like don't chase transcendence by abandoning your vessel is what I mean. So if
Mm,
you if you understand that spirituality is not escaping the body, it's inhabiting it, right? So completely that matter becomes spirit again. So this is what I where I think Primal Sutra differs from a lot of other path workings that just dissociate completely from the body. Um,
right.
we use the body as a part of our awakening. So I think that's a very
We said this again. I believe it was Frank White, that's his real name. Frank White from The Grail of the Serpent. Your first want is the body. Not the
mm,
ritual knife, not the Harry Potter wand or staff, whatever. The
right.
body. The body can, as you said, right? Carries the memories, etc. So the purer you can make your body, whatever that means to you, the more you can align it with that energy, that frequency, that image, that dream that you have, the closer you are to that fulfillment.
Mm,
So that's what I would say about that. Which again fits the
awesome.
motion is lotion, right? Because
Yeah.
rhythm and frequency tend to follow each other. Again, the Hermetic law, etc. Anyway, can't
Yeah.
say too much because we have 1 minute left. For the outro, we are heading to Sedona. Sumit and I already have booked our tickets. The Airbnb is about to get handled this week. You and I still need to check for the USV, the SUV, I mean. And
Mhm.
I'm assuming I don't need anything else. Am I forgetting something, Sumit?
Nope,
Anything?
I don't think so. But yeah, if you want to ask us anything in details of that, you can just send us a message. It's the
Mm.
easiest way. Just contact us if you're interested. And yeah, we would love to see you in person. I guess you guys are used to seeing us online, but trust me, it's way different in person. That's all we can
The
say.
biggest surprise is we're actually equally tall. So
Yeah.
that's still the mind fuck every time. I always assume like he's bigger, but that's because he's always
Mm,
leaning more forward. And I just like to
Yeah.
lean back in my chair
Right.
because it's comfortable, you know.
Yeah. All
But yeah,
right, guys. Thank you so
uh,
much. Have an incredible rest of your day. May the flow be
indeed,
with you.
it's will be with you indeed. Good morning, good evening, and good night. May your life never be the same again. This has been GPS Guided Primal Sutra.
Let's win.